Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Pollard. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Check.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
He's coming. We got double up.
Here's Pollard. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 27 yards there, a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On first down, Pollard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Jackson now. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, first and 10 at their own 16. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 15-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Over the middle to Beckham. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Run.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. John Ross, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Mike 56.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the first round. But they circled back in the second round and got a really good one in Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke off a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go. You tighten up.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he's taken down inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line.
17 yards. First down, Cleveland.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A toss play to Chubb, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Throwing, Mayfield. That is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
He's checking, he's checking.
Alert, 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 alert. 61, matchbox light.
Mayfield now. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target. But now it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incomplete.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And an alley to run. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
7's a Mike. Mike 7.
Hey, wahoo!
Mike 7.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
X3, 218, chopper.
7's a Mike. Here we go. Wide, get wide.
Kings.
Here's Mayfield. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that's going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll go deep down the middle. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On second down, it's Pollard. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here we go. Now the wolf. 58 right there. I'm scared. 49, check 49.
They'll run on first down. Pollard. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
You don't want no problem.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Jumper. Under 10, 10.
On second down, Pollard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield, too.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tony Pollard with his first career NFL touchdown, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And the Browns first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
65.
Here's Jackson throwing again. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the...
And that's caught inside the 30. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
Odell Beckham Jr. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
First down, Cleveland.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A run for Nick Chubb. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 50-yard line.
20.
All day.
Run.
Any day.
They run it again with Chubb. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. To throw, Mayfield. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And again, it's Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
and it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the 36-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Pollard again. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now Chubb. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Chubb. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
A give running right is Chubb. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll go down at the 28. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check 48 the mark.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they've put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Play action. It's Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
First down, Cleveland.
48 to Mike. I got him.
Run.
Kill.
80 weapon. Point it right. Hey. I 7.
Hey, look, 48. Look.
First down, Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Patrick Owasor came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They run. Chubb. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. Pretty move. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The end result, 21 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's got the rookie from Oklahoma, Marquise Brown. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now it's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Deron Payne, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson, Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Browns drive about to get started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.